a tough person to deal with at times. And
not at all.
But
you
what do you
gotta
call
have
it?
a good team overall.
Yeah.
You certainly do. You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio. Our guest today is Brimstone and Kim Adragna. My name is Danisha Boston Hill, along with Ray Schwetz on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Danisha Boston Hill, along with Ray Schwetz, and our guest today is Kim Adragna and Brimstone. So, Kim, you guys have been on so many tours and to conventions. I mean, I have a great behind-the-scenes stories from my concert days, but I'm sure you've seen some wild and crazy things happening.
Absolutely. I mean, when you go to these conventions and you're traveling with, all the other co-hosts like Brim and Steve and Tom, who's another one, you form like a little family. It's like a little getaway that you guys get to go to. So when you're at the conventions and you also add on other personalities or other celebrities, it's interesting because most of the time people don't understand, this is the opportunity to meet other people as well. So I think two of the best stories was one time I was dancing with Walter Jones, who was the White Power Ranger. Was he Black Power Ranger? Oh, see? There, I'm getting it wrong anyway. So it was funny because he was like, okay, let's tango, let's start dancing. And I wasn't expecting that. So I was like, okay, that's fun. And then on top of that, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So I didn't expect, I think his name is Daniel Radcliffe. And he's that weird looking guy with the cat who like screams at everyone in Harry Potter. And I didn't know he was going to be there. So, even me, I had to kind of work up the courage to be like, hey, I'm going to introduce myself to him. And now I have emails, now we have contact, so it's cool, But, and then Kel Mitchell, who's also on Good Burger. And, I watched him when I was younger on all that, like I said, Good Burger. So now to, know him is great, especially since I think it was Philly, right? Was it Philly Comic-Con? He brought donuts. And so he gave me a donut, and we were cheersing together with a donut, a bacon donut. So it was, you meet all these people, and it's fun. So
He didn't give you any orange soda?
He didn't, but he had orange soda on his desk.
Oh, there you go.
So, he had to have the gimmick, and he had like a onesie of like burgers and fries.
That's
so
funny.
It was cool. It's cool.
So now, Brim, you've been around the block a bit with all the businesses and leading from one to another, which I love. What kind of advice would you give entrepreneurs listening for just, a CEO standpoint of pushing the team forward to come up with these cool, innovative ideas to expand?
First of all, you always want to be yourself. You never want to change and be somebody else. That's first and foremost. As an entertainer, as a CEO, as anybody in life, you want to always be yourself 110%, because being genuine is what pushes you forward in life. And in terms of for young entrepreneurs out there, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you're doing. You can't be afraid to go out there and talk to people, knock on doors, and make magic happen, because nobody else is going to do it for you. The other thing is, to put together, a team, that will, if you're going that route, put together a team that you can trust and that you could build on. And being a good leader is not sitting and making everything happen yourself. A good leader is helping to bring up the people that are with you to be equals, and that's how to really, really take yourself to the next level. And, I've been around the block for a long time. On the business side, I just became a score mentor not too long ago. So if you guys are familiar, I'm sure this is a business,
Absolutely.
this is a business show. You probably know about Score. Kim is actually considering doing it as well.
Good.
But yeah, we actually won the 2018 Small Business Awards, National Small Business Awards through Score. So right now we're waiting to hear to see if we won the grand championship. Knock on wood. Hopefully we did. But the whole Score thing has been great, and we felt that they needed more creative business minds.
Were you reading my mind? Because
Yes.
guess who went to Score 4 years ago and I've not been back since.
Yeah, no, and there's a reason for that. And
There's definitely a reason for that.
once I went on and they made me live, I've gotten inundated with people that have creative questions that it's been insane. And unfortunately, I don't have time to help everybody simply because our schedule is so ridiculous. But, we try to help out as many as we can and as quickly as possible. But
Good. I'm glad they have you guys.
Thank you.
I'm glad that kind of opens the floodgates, too, for recognizing there's a need there.
It definitely is a need. When I sat down with the rep, I mentally said, he doesn't relate to my business. He has no idea about where I'm going as a marketing and coming from entertainment and media background. So I'm so happy, you're a part of that. That's fantastic.
They feel, and again, it's not a bad thing, but they feel that everything is like a cookie cutter business.
Right.
And unfortunately, not everything works that way. And when we went out to Reno, Kim and I were out there, we met 103 business champions, for what they call them, through Score. And when I tell you that Kim and I spent so much time after hours and even throughout the event helping and guiding, and then after the event helping and guiding people, because they needed that help, and they needed that little bit of advice from somebody who has been there, done that, or who understands what they're trying to do. And I think that we were a good addition to Score.
And they also wanted to know a little bit about what we do, because we're a little different and out of the norm than most businesses that were there. So they were interested in seeing, maybe we could work together on something. We're just wanting to see how we work our business. So it was cool, and we met a lot of great people there. A lot of them that we've had on the show, they've given products to, so we've helped shed light on them as well. And it was just a great networking event, too. So
it's very interesting, because what we're doing is very, very different. Everybody thinks, podcasts and so forth, yes. But, in general, radio, we are essentially a 2-hour radio show once a week. We won 2 years in a row Best Radio Station on Long Island. We beat all the terrestrial radio stations, which I feel is a huge, huge feat and an honor, because we respect everybody. I have a long relationship with BAB, BLI, the Shark, and all that. So at the end of the day, HPC, and we respect it, and things are kind of moving in the avenue of digital radio, digital this, digital that, right, where we're different, you know what I mean? And we're hitting right now 3.5-4 million listeners weekly worldwide. We're hitting locally between 600 to 620,000 listeners here on the island in Manhattan. I mean, those are real numbers, and it's insane. Cool. And we have a video game coming out based on the radio show called GHR, The Great Airspace Chase. Yep. We're doing things that other people are not doing. There's another thing for entrepreneurs out there. If you're not doing it, someone else will. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you always want to be that person who discovers it first. So, having a radio show that has a video game, I think, is pretty darn cool. Yeah,
and I guess some advice would be, being young and everything, almost like a 30 under 30. There's going to be a lot of people out there who don't understand. There are people maybe in your family that didn't take that route, the entertainment route. They took the 9 to 5, and they kind of don't understand how that goes. Not saying 9 to 5 is bad, but, if you're more of a creative background, that's what you're meant to do. That's where your journey in life's supposed to be.
It's your happiness.
It's your happiness. So why would you do something completely different than what you don't want to do in life? So follow that. If other people always have something to say about what you should do in your life, that's when you need to sit them down, talk to them, and say, this is what I want to do. End of story.
Money will come, okay? Money will come to those who wait and work hard for it. So,
you are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Denisha Boston Hill, and our guests today are Kim Adragna and Brimstone. Now, how do you do all this and then balance like work and family life? I mean, for both of you, that's got to be tough.
I mean, calendars are amazing, but you work with it. You get used to it. You balance it. You have to figure out. It's going to get crazy maybe a couple years from now. I don't. Who really knows? But you're able to do it. Calendars are great, like I said. So, work around that. Know throughout the day that you're in studio, and then weekends you figure out what you need to do, or after hours, after radio. People have to know around you that this is what you're into. So they also have to understand, maybe there's some times where I can't make a birthday or I can't make an event or something. But that doesn't mean I don't want to be there. But, it
I'm
works.
still paying for that for 20 years. I'm still paying for that.
It's a difficult thing because people don't necessarily understand. I'm on the road. I'm in and out of town. What do you call it? Kim is my work wife, as I say all the time. What do you call it? And she knows. I call her my sister, but she's also my work wife. And the fact is that what do you call it? It's we have a very good communication where if somebody's not, because we have an office. We have the studio, we have a lot of things that go through the office. So we have to be in tune with each other in order to know, all right, well, look, Brim's got something that's going on this day and he can't be here. So I know Kim needs to know to be here at this time to this time and so forth. And the same thing, Kim can't make it. So Brim has to make sure to be there and Steve will get there when he can, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of moving and shuffling and communication. The biggest thing in business is communication. That is a most beautiful thing. Non-communication is the killer. You might as well just stab yourself and be done with it in business. I'm not talking about real life. If you're feeling any thoughts of the bad things, there are people out there. You're not alone. People are there to help you. But anyway, moving forward, at the end of the day, you could literally stick a fork in yourself. You're done if you don't have that communication. My wife, she was with me since I was still wrestling. So she doesn't necessarily love the industry. She wishes I worked a 9 to 5, to be honest, but she respects what I do and she's proud of me and she backs me up, 200%. But again, it's very, very tough. I have 3 children. I'm on the road often, what do you call it? And what's different now than then is that now we have these special phones where, anybody could pick it up and send a video call and you can have a conversation from across the country, around the world. As to when my 2 other older kids were growing up, we didn't have that. It was a phone and that's it. And if you didn't get them at the right time, you're done. And, time zones, and it's very, very difficult. So having a prosperous family life and being in entertainment and being in business, you have 3 very conflicting schedules, and I'm always home for my kids and my wife. I'm home for every major holiday, Mother's Days, birthdays. I never missed anything except for one time, was Mother's Day a couple of years ago. And I said to my wife, I go, sweetheart, I got booked for this week to go out to Ohio. And she said, well, I said, I'm not going to take it. She goes, how much is it? And I told her, and she goes, yeah, I'll see you the next couple of days.
Woman after my own heart.
So.
Now, as we close, where do we find you, Brim?
You can find me at entrancetohell.com. It's just a gimmick. I'm a nice guy. That's my official website. It needs a lot of updating, but you can keep up with me on a regular on Twitter at entrancetohell or on Facebook /Brimstone. And on Instagram at The Real Brimstone. And definitely check us out at thegrindhouseradio.com. You can find out everywhere we are, iTunes, iHeart, all that jazz. We please check us out. We do hit the top 20 every single week on iTunes and jazz. And Kim?
You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, all the fun stuff, Facebook as well, at Kim Adragna. KimAdragna.com too, or at Kim Adragna on all the social medias.
Thanks.